See, the crazy thing is now I have like multiple videos I have to post for you guys. This is ridiculous. It's taking up all my time, all my free time. I want to mow my lawn. Adaptive specific defenses. Well, specific defenses, here we go. T cells provide cell-mediated immunity. Cell-mediated immunity. B cells provide antibody-mediated immunity. Okay, so they defend against abnormal cells and pathogens inside cells, and then they defend against antigens and pathogens in body fluid. So they're circulating around in the body fluid and they bind to specific cells. So, T cells, it's all about hand-to-hand combat. Direct hand-to-hand combat. B cells is about identifying, attaching to, okay, stimulating, antigen presenting, okay? So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with B cells. Forms of immunity: innate, adaptive, active, and passive. Now this is where some of you were trying to grab these and put them into these categories. Well, here comes the categories, okay? So innate, it's present at birth. That means you pop out, yahoo, you're good to go. Innate. Like it's born, you're born with it. Okay? Then there's adaptive. It's after birth. It's after birth. You don't have it when you're born, when you have the cells, but remember, the cells aren't active unless what? You come in contact with a pathogen. Whether we give you the pathogen or you get the pathogen. Then there's active. Antibodies develop after an exposure to antigen. Active, adaptive. Okay, is everybody getting that? Active, adaptive. And then passive, antibodies are transferred from another source. So mom says, you know what, you've got about 5 years of figuring this out on your own, so here you go. And gives it to you. So it is no surprise that when they say that women should, if they can, breastfeed, wow, that's kind of important because what is the mother doing? Passively transferring antibodies from her to the baby. So it's actually good. It's good to do that. Passively transferring. So acquired immunity, naturally acquired through environmental exposure to pathogens. Okay? And then artificially induced through vaccines. And this, again, getting excited, like let's get a vaccine. Guess what? You can get a vaccine that will protect you from a lot of different things. Okay? Stimulate your immune system, block sites, all the different things that vaccines can do. Okay? So, through vaccines containing pathogens. Well, how does that work? How does that work? Well, I just give you a pathogen, like here you go. You good to go? Okay? You've probably heard of this word. Attenuated. Attenuated. Has anybody heard of that word, attenuated vaccines? It's basically a dead virus. Still the same makeup, but it's dead. It's attenuated. It's not alive. It's not going to affect you. Now, that being said, I know some of you are like, I got a flu vaccine and I got sick. Well, it doesn't mean that your body's not going to react to it. It's just not the same as a live virus. Okay? It's not a live virus. Attenuated. So when they give you artificially induced vaccines, some of the vaccine that they give you may be attenuated viruses, non-living viruses. Okay? Passive immunity, naturally acquired. Antibodies acquired from mom. That's right, from mom. Passive. And then artificially induced, okay, by an injection of antibodies, gamma globulins. Okay, we can actually give you stuff. It's temporary, doesn't last very long. Again, let me say that. It's temporary and doesn't last very long. Artificially induced. It's temporary and doesn't last very long. Now, do you need to know all of this? Yep. Yeah, you do. All of it. Very, very well. Because we just went over it. Immunity, non-specific immunity, genetically determined, no prior exposure, antibody production involved. Okay? Adaptive specific, so active immunity develops in response to an antigen exposure. Active immunity in response to an antigen exposure. Can you get that antigen exposure two different ways? Yes, you can. Naturally acquired and artificially. Naturally acquired and artificially. So naturally acquired, I would like everybody to move your papers to one side. Go ahead. Move all your papers just a little bit. Just make a clearing right in front of you. Okay, does everybody have a clearing of the desk right in front of them? Okay, here we go. We're going to practice naturally acquired active immunity. We're going to practice it. Okay, so I want everybody to lick the desk right in front of them. Come on, just... No? Okay, would that be naturally acquired? Yes, it would, because if there's some foreign pathogen on the desk in front of you right now, if you just licked it, is there a chance that you could be exposed to that foreign pathogen? Yes. Was it naturally acquired? Well, that's a little weird, but it's still natural. Okay? And if you don't think so, if you don't think that's natural, ask any kid on a playground. Ask any kid in a classroom. Okay? Did you lick the side of Sally's face? Yeah. That's why you're sick. No. She had ice cream on her cheek. I was helping her. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, kids don't care. They don't care at all. They'll lick the flagpole. They'll be... Okay, and if it's frozen in the winter, what happens? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, their tongue's stuck to it. Artificially induced, well, guess what? Develops after the administration of an antigen to prevent the disease. So we're going to stimulate your immune system to defend against or prevent the actual adherence or contraction of that pathogen. Then we jump over to passive, produced by transfer of antibodies. Notice one is an antigen, the other one's antibodies from another source. So naturally acquired, Kerpow, conferred by transfer of maternal antibodies across the placenta or in breast milk. IgA or IgG. Those are naturally occurring and they're transferred from mom to the baby. IgA and IgG. Immunoglobulin A and immunoglobulin G. Okay? G is transferred through the placenta and A is transferred through milk. All right? Now, why are those so important? Because we're going to actually have to learn every single one of them. So this is your first exposure. Kind of like passive immunity. All right? I'm transferring immunity right now to you. Artificially induced passive immunity conferred by administration of antibodies to combat an infection. So in other words, we're going to give it to you right then and there. Once it's gone, and hopefully the infection's gone at the same time. Okay? Questions? Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff.